Movement, rhythm, and conversations with Tafari. Unchain your mind, let your spirit be free.
Welcome to Movement, Rhythm, and Conversation, the show where we delve into the profound impact of religion, spark provoking conversation, explore the world through an open-minded perspective. I'm your host, Tafari, here to bring you engaging discussions, eye-opening stories, and conversation that pulls no punches. Whether it's faith, culture, creativity, or real-life experience, we keep it raw, honest, and unfiltered.
Build black banks on black land, pass down wealth like a real inheritance plan. No more praying for what we can create, no more waiting on systems designed to dominate. Teach our daughters how to own their worth, teach our sons they are gods on this earth.
Peace and power, family. Before we get started, please take a moment to do something important. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode of Movement, Rhythm, and Conversations with Tafari. Every click, share, and subscriptions help push this movement forward, spreading knowledge, rhythm, and power into our community. Let's rise together. Now, let's get into today's conversation.
We were raised on broken stories.
Welcome to Movement, Rhythm, and Conversations. I'm your host, Tafari. Today's episode is not about attacking individuals. It's about interrogating systems. It's about explaining how institutional power shape behavior, especially in workplaces that were never designed with our collective liberation in mind. We celebrate education. We respect degrees. We admire achievement, but we rarely ask a harder question. Does education feed your mind, or does it train you to operate more efficiently inside someone else's structure? In white-dominated institutions, loyalty is rewarded, compliance is promoted, proximity to power creates security, and over time, survival strategies can begin to look like allegiance. What we call professionalism may sometimes be conditioning. What we call success may sometimes be adaptation. So today, we're unpacking workplace hierarchy, internalizing institutional loyalty, and the psychological impact of navigating power daily. This is not about blame, it's about awareness, because you cannot dismantle what you refuse to examine. Education without liberation, institutional loyalty, workplace conditioning. Let's get into it.
But the ancestors cracked it open. Now their wisdom wakes it up.
This is about systems, not scapegoats. This conversation is not about attacking Black women. It's about examining institutional behavior patterns inside white-dominant workplaces. The real question is not who is worse. The real question is, why do some of us become the strongest enforcer of systems that was never built for us? So let's get started talking about education as institutional training. Higher education in America is not neutral. It trains people to operate within white institutional framework. Professionalism, hierarchy, tone, compliance, corporate etiquette, all of it is rooted in white norms. So when we say someone is highly educated, we must ask, educated for liberation or educated for integration? For many of us who have worked in a corporate environment can relate to this, the middle manager phenomenon. In many corporate environments, Black women are often positioned as middle management, close enough to power to enforce it, but not close enough to control it. Historically, oppressed groups placed in intermediary roles often become protectors of the system because their survival depends on it. Here's what it comes down to: proximity to power. In white institutions, proximity to whiteness often equals security, promotion, protection, validation, and salary increase are incentives. When survival and advancements are tied to maintaining white comfort, loyalty to the institution becomes self-preservation. This should be interesting. Why workplace policing happens. Sometimes what appears as slave mentality is actually internalized professional policing, tone checking, dress code enforcement, emotional restraint, over-discipline other Black employees, not necessarily out of hatred, but out of fear that any deviation will reflect poorly on them. With all that's been said, this is the important part: conditioning versus consciousness. The slave mentality narrative oversimplifies something deeper. Conditioning. Conditioning teaches you to protect authority because authority controls access. It teaches you that compliance is rewarded. It teaches you that challenging power is dangerous. And when that conditioning goes unexamined, it looks like loyalty. This is something to consider. Gender survival strategy. Black women historically survive by navigating power carefully. Black men historically survive by resisting power more visibly. These survival strategies were shaped differently by history. That difference can show up today as institutional alignment versus open opposition. But a survival strategy is not the same as ideology. So let's have this conversation about white institutions run on Black labor. White institutions survive on Black labor across the board. Men and women, corporate America, academia, healthcare, and government systems are sustained by Black productivity and compliance. To single out one gender ignores the structural design. Let's discuss the real issue is institutional worship. The deeper problem is not Black women. It's institutional worship. It's the belief that proximity to white systems equal progress. It's measuring success by how well we ascend inside structures that were not built for our collective liberation. When any of us, men or women, defend those systems without critique, we reinforce them. Here's something to think about. Liberation requires self-examination. The real question is not who has more slave mentality. The real question is, have we examined our relationship to power? Do we enforce policies that harm our own people? Do we protect systems more than the community? Do we mistake access for freedom? Liberation begins when loyalty shifts from institutions to self-authority. Here's my closing thought. Degrees can teach you how to climb. Conditioning teaches you what not to question. Liberation teaches you when to walk away.
Movement, rhythm, and conversations with Tafari. Unchain your mind, let your spirit be free.
In closing, education can give you credential. Institutions can give you title, but neither automatically gives you liberation. Workplace conditioning is subtle. It rewards loyalty to structures over loyalty to community. It encourages self-policing. It teaches you to protect authority because authority controls access. And when that conditioning goes unchallenged, institutional loyalty begins to feel normal, even necessary. But liberation requires something deeper than excess. It requires self-awareness. It requires the courage to question the very system that validates you. It requires choosing integrity over proximity to power. This conversation isn't about tearing anyone down. It's about asking whether our success comes at the cost of our collective freedom. Because climbing the ladder means nothing if it's leaning against the wrong wall. This is Movement, Rhythm, and Conversation. I'm your host, Tafari. Unchain your mind, reclaim your soul. Now, let's reclaim our economic power. Most importantly, stay black. Peace.
Build black banks, own black land, pass down wealth like a real inheritance plan. No more praying for what we can create. No more waiting on systems designed to dominate. Teach our daughters how to own their worth. Teach our sons they are gods on this earth.
If today's conversation spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share with the family, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification so you never miss an episode of Movement, Rhythm, and Conversation with Tafari. Together we rise. Unchain your mind, reclaim your soul.